Let's go racing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday. You know what that means. It means it's Monday Night Mayhem, and we are here live broadcasting the final race in the first round. That's right. We're in the round of 12 here in the MRL Monday Night Mayhem. Season 4, it's an elimination race, and we're live from Sparta, Kentucky at Kentucky Speedway, Super Speedway, the home of no NASCAR Cup race. Thanks, NASCAR. You ruined it for us. I'm Mean Gene Money, and I'm here live with my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella, and we're getting ready to see these fellas lose their mind. I don't know what's going to happen this week. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, insanity at Talladega, and now let's go to a new track we've never been to. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, you just said it, Mean Gene, and we discovered it shortly before this race. This is a track that the Monday Night League has never been to, and yeah, you can thank NASCAR for that. I think a lot of people forget about this place, and I think when people were racing here IRL in real life, this place didn't have the best rep, Mean Gene. Like, I think that's why a lot of people weren't too upset when they took this place off the track. But if you're a sim racer, you know how awesome this racetrack is. Something about sim racing and real life don't really line up when it comes to the quality of racing here at this racetrack, Mean Gene. I love this place, and and this is a cutoff race. We're cutting it down to only 8 drivers eligible for a championship after tonight. So the stakes are high, and I can't think of a better venue to be hosting it.
I mean, it's great. It's a 1.5 mile tri-oval, but it's not cookie cutter. It's not what we've seen a lot of the NASCAR tracks trying to transform into, what the rumor of what they're going to do at Auto Club is, and what we've seen other popular tracks suddenly become in the next gen series. I mean, this is a weird track. It's got that 17 degree banking in 1 and 2, but then it's got only a 14 degree banking in 3 and 4, and it's got that dip, that little dip on the inside that everybody talks about. So this thing is unique, like a signature, and a lot of people just love racing here because of that experience that it's going to give you, that uniqueness. Before we go into Kentucky a little bit too much, though, let's talk about what happened 2 weeks ago. They were at Talladega, and everybody needed a win except for Colin Bollinger, of course. Colin, he won that first race in the first round, but everybody needed a win. It comes down to high side hustlers on the restart. And what happens? Carnage, green, white checker. They get off to the start. You got Tony Iverson, David Owens, Eric Thornton, all in the top 3 positions. And then bada bing, bada boom, here come the wrecks. Jax Duvall smashes in the back of Sean Walton. That takes out Thornton in another group. And then coming out of 4 on the very last lap, we saw more contact, which took out Iverson. Jax Duvall pulls the win. Top point guy that's not in the playoffs. Behind him, we see more miracles. David Owens gets second, helping himself in the points. And then 3rd and 4th, that was a fun little ride we took with Kevin Kyle and Jack Sanders, and that really helped Jack. Jack needed those points right now. You can look up there at the current playoff standings, and there's a few guys we got to be watching here today. Yeah, Zach?
Yeah, Jack Sanders is the one that sticks out to me the most, Mean Gene. Going into that last race 2 weeks ago, he was very much on the outside looking in. I believe out of these 12 drivers, he was in 11th place and had a pretty marginal gap, but he did what he had to do at Talladega, and now finds himself above the cut line. Just needs to have a solid race to advance into the round of 8. Do not forget, Jack Sanders is a former champion of this league. It was only 2 years ago Jack Sanders took home the Monday Night Mayhem MRL Championship. So do not let that guy get to the round of 8 if you're one of his fellow competitors. And who I'll be keeping my eye on, Mean Gene, is essentially everyone Bolander and below. Bolander negative 18 points from our leader of the 11 car in these standings right now. But really what I'm looking at is the difference between him and our 9th place car of Matt Novella. He is minus 38, so a 20-point difference right there, Mean Gene. That is not enough to be content at a track like this. We got a stage that's going to pay out points. So I think everyone, Bolander and below, all the way, I think, down to Sean Walton, are going points racing today. Daniel Smith, if he's here yet, we were talking about that earlier. I'm not sure if Daniel Smith is here, but if he is, he's going for a trophy, and that's his only hope of making the round of 8.
No Daniel Smith right now. Qualifying just finished. No Daniel Smith, so you can actually mark him off suddenly becomes 11 guys battling. Yeah, and Sean Walton, he had such a good run in that first race of the playoffs, and then last week finished 20th, really put himself in a hole. So Sean has got to be thinking about finishing up at the front to get that done. Here we are. These are official qualifying results, and sitting up on the pole, Joe Volpis going to take the pole in that 07 Ford. Next to him, David Owens. That's your front row. Second row, Eric Thornton and Sean Walton. Third row, Michael Mata and Buddy Sully. Buddy back on the track after a successful shoulder surgery, and that puts the high side hustlers complete in their team of 4. Tony Iverson's going to start 7th. Matt Novella outside of row 4 is going to be in 8th. Jose Medina, playoff driver, going to start 9th. And next to him, fellow playoff driver Jack Sanders. That's your first 5 rows.
In 11th place, you got Jack Staval. He'll be looking for a good performance today. Beside him will be the 12 of John Beverly. John Beverly with a great qualifying performance here today as well. A lot of good qualifiers today, Mean Gene. 13th place, Richard Swingle. 14th, Alex Hillman, Daily Drivers Inc. He needs a good finish today. He is one of the guys on the outside looking in, trying to make that round of 8. 15th, Jay Stinson. Haven't seen that name in a minute over in this league. That's a welcome addition to this field, so good to see Jay Stinson. Kevin Kyle, another guy. He is currently in the playoffs, Mean Gene, in the round of 8, but he cannot afford a bad day. He cannot run 16th all day. He needs to do better than that. 17th, Colin Bollinger, and per usual, Bollinger and Bollinger, the first cars not to qualify. They were 17th and 18th place. 19th, Steve Lewis. 20th, Hunter Hall. And 21st, rounding out a relatively smaller field, Brandon Guerin.
Yeah, those guys at the bottom, we were used to them not qualifying. Steve Lewis, we usually see Louis qualify, choosing not to today. So that'll be interesting to see if that's going to work out for Captain Crunch running in that number 88. Cars are starting to roll here, and we're about to go live here at Kentucky. Elimination time. This is the third race in our round of 12, and 11 guys battling to see who the 8 are that will continue on to the second round of our playoffs. We are in season 4 of Monday Night Mayhem, Next Gen Cups. And I'll tell you what, if you could do me a favor, Zach, could you just focus on that 01 car for a second?
Yeah, Abington, Mean Gene. Let me find it. There we go.
There he is. Look at that paint scheme, ladies and gentlemen. We've been asking for it, and the asking you shall receive, and we finally got it back. The 01 is on the track. There is the General Lee. John Beverly not in the playoffs, but fan favorite. Also, he is the league, the head league admin. Monday nights are his baby, so it's good to see John out on the track in that beautiful 01. I'm just going to pretend it's a Dodge, Zach.
Yeah, I get that, man, Gene. As you should. John Beverly, a wonderful admin, runs such a tight ship here. And here we go, Mean Gene, getting ready to go green. Let's cut this thing down to 8.
And waiting on the start, we are keeping an eye on Joe Volpis, as he is going to be your pace car. David Owens on the outside of him, running in that 11 Nas. And away we go. Joe Volpis is going to take him around into turn number 1. He's got Eric Thornton right behind him, side-by-side racing. Ooh, some cars going high and wide coming out of there. That's interesting. Volpis goes up the track a little bit. Thornton lets off, lets him hold that position. And Joe Volpis coming around that back stretch now. Cars getting up to speed. Volpis, Owens, Thornton, Sean Walton in the mix. Michael Mata always fast. Volpis trying to hold that bottom line. Coming out of 4. He's got Eric Thornton on his tail. They hit that little dip we all love coming out of 4. And Joe Volpis is going to lead lap number 1 here at Kentucky.
Volpis not with the start that he wanted right there. As we've talked about all the time, me and Gene, it is on the flyban to start the race. And Eric Thornton definitely anticipated that restart, or that start to the race better than anyone else, and that's why he's moving to second place right now past the 11 car. Eric Thornton 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, huge hit, Alex Hillman. Alex Hillman just destroyed the wall.
Well, you know what? That wall was talking bad about his mama before the race, and Hillman not going to have any of it. Went ahead and showed the wall who was boss. We'll just have to see if the 08 Vortex Racing Network car can continue. He is off pace. Looks like he's bringing it down. The question is, was it worth it? I don't know. You talk about my mom. I'm going to drive into the side of you, too.
Yeah, just uncalled for, me and Gene. You can't talk about moms, not in this league. Let's take a look at what went wrong with that 08 here. Here we go. We're gonna play this real time. We are 3 wide right here. It's got Hillman. I think that's Sanders to the outside of him. In front of him is John Beverly. Here we go into 3 and 4. It looks like that is Richard Swingle, the other Goldfish car behind Hillman. I think Hillman's gonna get loose here, me and Gene. I think that's all this is gonna be. Here we go. Hillman with a good exit. Looking to the inside. This may be 1 lap before. It is. I'm gonna fast forward here. And I want to get to the bottom of this one, me and Gene. What? Oh, Hillman and that was through 1 and 2. Was that Hillman and Swingle?
It was it looks like the 97 of Swingle. And I'm going to make it even more fun for you. So that's the first incident. And then we got a caution right after that. We are currently under caution.
Oh, my bad.
And then Hillman, he gets a penalty for speeding. Poor guy.
I'm seeing a black flag for Alex Hillman. Are we under caution?
Yeah, we are currently under caution. It's blinking at me.
We are.
Because I'm suffering packet loss.
Who was involved in that?
Well, it looks like David Owens is 18 spots down. I'd taken a look at him.
That's a decent guess right there. Very limited data so far, and I think what that's telling me, Mean Gene, is a lot of these wrecks aren't necessarily turning around cars, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, so they're not showing up, but I think they're going to be doing a lot of damage nonetheless. We saw how bad that was for Hillman, but here we go. Let's take a look. Get some jams going as well, but let's take a look at what happened here at the 11. So that's Michael Mata on his outside. Here they go through, I believe that's 1 and 2. Mata right behind him to his outside goes Hillman, and yeah, the 11 completely clears himself. Huge hit for the 11. That's going to be a fast repair indeed. If you'd like,
I'm glad he could keep it down.
We can go to the, yeah, I guess so, Manji. That's uncharacteristic for sure. Let's take a look at the far chase and see what exactly went wrong there. Yeah. All right, here we go. And we'll go 1.4 speed here. So it looks like Mata, Mean Gene, is going to have a really, really big run at a 2 here. Look at how big of a run this is on the 11. So Mata here, do you want to go high? Do you want to go low? What do you want to do? Very, very close. Oh, and Netcode gets the best of the 11. Gets him loose. Not much Mata can do about that. Ships the 11.
He's still touching him on that right rear. You know when you're touching the very corner of somebody's rear bumper, something might happen.
No, not according to him. So, shocker that caused anything there with Mata and Hillman. I'm sorry, Mata and the 11. And here we are. Let's go back live.
All right, so a few cars did take the opportunity to pit. Joe Volpus being one of them, so we can see all the way up to 14th position. Colin Bollinger, Hunter Hall, Andrew Bolander, Joe Volpus coming down to take fuel. Interesting to see strategy already. Lights off the pace car, and we are about to go green. Eric Thornton currently being shown as your leader, and Michael Mata, he who did not cause that wreck, is on the outside, on the inside of row number. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
As my puppy is when she chews up something that means a lot to me.
You come home and they got that look on their face.
Yep. But me, Gene, before,
I didn't do it.
Exactly. Before we go green, real quick, let's look at who will be joined to. We got the Joe Show, first of all, and that is Joe Volpus right there, our pole sitter right there. I think you noticed that he's on the broadcast today. Wave hi to us, Joe. Hello. And then next up, we also have, let's see if this one works. Ooh, there he is, Tony Iverson. Ooh. We haven't thought of a clever name for this cam yet, but that is Tony Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
And where is he?
It's the AI cam.
It's the AI cam. You're right. It is the AI cam. He's in third, so let's keep this cam up. What the hell, Mean Gene? Let's do it. Let's see what it looks like. I wish we had a heart monitor as we get ready to go green.
Ooh, that would be fun. All right, so Eric Thornton, he's on the outside. He is going to be the control car. We're going to see what he does once he comes into that Geico restart zone, and away he goes. Great jump. Going to bring Tony Iverson with him. High side hustlers on the outside row 1 and 2. Inside row, Michael Mott. It's getting a little bit of an assistance from the 23 of Sean Walton. Thornton with that lead. Mata making the inside work now. Takes over second place from Iverson. Thornton in the running right now, pulling away from the rest of the pack down the back stretch. Look at the speed of Iverson trying to get underneath Mata. Mata maintains speed, but it's Thornton now, cuts up high in front of Mata. Don't do that. He showed what he would do, but it's going to be Thornton taking that first lap. I know. You just saw Mata rub a bumper.
Mata and Thornton are going for it, Mean Gene. I think these guys are friends. I'm pretty sure these guys have a lot of experience racing together, but actually that was Dodson. I mixed them up. That was some intense racing, and here goes Mata. He does not want to be in second place.
No, Mata, look at him too. He'll get really close. He'll pinch up against the wall before they shoot down. Mata now going to take the lead on lap number 8. Thornton gives it up pretty easily. Mata leads that lap, leads lap number 8. Now on to lap 9. Iverson remaining very close. And here comes the rest of the pack. Sean Walton. There's the 21 of Buddy Sully coming into the picture as well. Lots of cars going single file now as we are here getting up to speed at Kentucky here on lap number 9.
Here goes Iverson poking to the inside of Thornton. Thornton as a defensive maneuver going a little bit lower than I think he wanted to there, but also kind of got a little bit to the inside of Mata. Not enough to do anything meaningful, and you're seeing how significant that drive-off speed is, Mean Gene. If you can use a little bit higher of a lane, not to put so much input into that steering wheel, that drive-off really plays to your advantage. We'll see what happens here again between the 16 and the 1. And I'm also curious to see that long-run speed with the 1. I think that was a smart move to let the 16 go lead this race if he wants to so bad. He was driving so hard. Thornton now, I think, with a little bit more control over his lines. That's a teammate behind him. So I think not as much pressure, but just as I say that, here goes Iverson to the inside of his teammate, Eric Thornton.
Good day, Iverson, though. He knows he needs points if he wants to continue here. Makes that pass. Thornton stayed high, let his teammate go by. Now the 13 takes over the second position. Michael Mata, though, still the story up ahead of the two teammates of Iverson and Thornton, continuing to lead the race. But Iverson's got other ideas now, looking low on Michael Mata. We'll see what's going to do to him, Zach, as they're coming out of 4.
Here comes Tony Iverson, and here's the face of somebody that's about to take the lead of a race in the MRL, trying to make sure he makes this round of 8. Tony Iverson in good points position, but hey, nothing's better than a win, especially because those bonus points will carry on to this next round. Iverson takes the lead here at Kentucky on lap 12, but how many times have we seen this year, me and Gene? Tony Iverson so often strong early, but struggling to put together an entire race. Will this story be different here today?
I think a lot of his issues often come from contact. So if he can stay on that clean air, not have any issues down in the pit, this could be a Tony Iverson kind of day, or else he's going to be writing my name on the side of that car for giving him the broadcaster jinx.
Yeah, we don't want to have our name added to that graveyard. Another thing sticking out to me here, me and Gene, the high side hustlers. I'm not sure if it's them working together or if Eric Thornton is falling off, but Buddy Sully makes the move for third place on his other teammate, Eric Thornton. High side hustlers currently running 1, 3, and 4. The 11 with those early incidents, so he's not in this picture right now, but the rest of the team doing what they have to do to maintain that team standings lead. But Buddy Sully, man, what a missed presence the defending champion is, Mean Gene. It's so great to see him healthy, back on the track with the confidence that we know he should have, and racing for leads again. How great is this?
Yeah, Buddy Sully, he had that shoulder surgery, came back strong, successful surgery, full range of motion again. Also, Buddy's job he got a schedule change at his work, so he'll actually be available for more evenings now. So good for him getting out of that night shift. He can spend a little bit more time with his family as well.
Jax Duvall is working his way through this field in a hurry, as is Sean Walton. Oh, and Duvall and Walton get together in the middle of the corner. They are able to gather back up. That was a huge moment there, Mean Gene. That was so close. But Buddy
Sully
didn't
kill him this time.
Not this time. But Buddy Sully, you saw him bail out there. He had a decision to make there, and Buddy Sully chose to live another day, Mean Gene, letting that group go in front of him. But Jax Duvall, he is working his way through this field, and Eric Thornton making a recovery as well. Here he goes on the inside of Mata, and Eric Thornton is second place, so I have my eye on the 84 and the 1 right now, Mean Gene.
Yeah, the Sully sense was tingling, and he knew something was about to get fruity right there. Sean Walton got doored, and now I think he's out of rhythm. Look at now, Sully fading back. Sully 3 wide with Novella and inside with Sean Walton. Jose Medina now looking, I wonder if Sully's tires got a little bit hot or if he just got out of rhythm. Up ahead of them, though, look at the 23 and the 56 side by side. Sean Walton got ping pong balled last week. You got to wonder how he's going to react emotionally to that kind of treatment. So much on the line for the Mo Power driver. That's that 23 of Sean Walton. He's facing elimination, but he's also got to think about how he drives around these guys. You know, every race he goes without incident, he gains a little respect. But every time there's an incident, you know, all spotlights and fingers are going to point right at that 23 driver.
I completely agree, me and Gene, but Sean Walton currently running in 5th place. That's not going to be enough. He needs better than 5th. I think that 23 driver knows that. I think he knows how good of a day he has to have today with how bad 2 weeks ago went for him. So Sean Walton, clearly a man on a mission today here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. And man, me and Gene, one thing that's also sticking out to me, these guys are absolutely hauling the mail. You can tell by these camera angles, you can tell by the intensity on the track. This pace is through the roof, these guys. They look like they're in fast forward right now, and I think that's what we saw. You were speculating a little bit there about what may have happened there with Buddy Sully. I think he just kind of got caught up, me and Gene. I think he entered the corner in a very bad angle, and by the time, and didn't check up in time, and by the time he realized the mistakes he had made, it was far too late. And you saw how much that cost him. He went all the way from, I think it was 4th to 7th there, and he is not looking like he's going to be able to make any forward momentum until he can put some new tires on this, which is another thing that we're going to have to start talking about soon. How much longer do these guys want to stay out?
Yeah, you're talking about speed. These guys are only 0.2 of a second off their fastest lap time.
Jeez.
Here we are on lap 20, so they're pushing it hard. Go back to that 23 and the 84. Remember, the 84 did spin the 23, and now the 23 is underneath him, hugging that apron. If I'm that guy, I might accidentally fade up a little bit higher. That is the battle for 4th and 5th, and that's that higher I was talking about as they come together. I don't know, because he's a good driver, Zach. He's a good driver.
Sean Walton was so inside Jack Staval. I think we're going to get demonetized for that.
They could be. You know, I think I heard Michael Hutchinson in NXS kick in with a rendition of Devil Inside. Oh, and now it's Duval's time. He's going to be the one on the inside. You better hold that speech on, or you're gonna get a goldfish up inside that back end for your effort.
Doesn't feel good, me and Gene. We both experienced that, and
yeah, goldfishes hurt.
Yeah, they do. It's the tail part, but what I also saw there from Jack's super loose, trying to use the bottom there. I think especially through 3 and 4. This track, we haven't talked enough about what makes this track so cool. And I also talked at the very beginning of this broadcast about how this track kind of didn't have the best rep, but if you race sim race it, you know how badass this place is. You know where else is kind of like that, me and Sheen, and it actually is a very similar track itself, is Texas. Texas. Everybody hates Texas in real life, right? Screw that place. But on iRacing, it's actually not bad. Yep, well, yeah, I mean, the state. But yeah, the Texas Motor Speedway is very disliked in real life, but on iRacing,
you don't like that bump coming out of 4?
Oh, I mean,
you don't like the bump coming out of 4?
It feels like it'd be really easy to fix. I'll say that much. But people, they hate how different 1 and 2, or I'm sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are. But Kentucky's that way too. 3 and 4 are so different than 1 and 2. Let me actually let's ride on board with. Let's do Sean Walton. Screw it. Because I'm sure something exciting will happen while we're doing it. But watch this, me and Gene. You are so on throttle through 1 and 2. Very similar to Texas. Where in Texas, you are essentially wide open through 1 and 2. But now watch through 3 and 4. He will be all the way off the gas. And there he goes. Look at that. All the way off. Off. Now, gentle on the throttle. Gentle on the throttle. Very loose off. Good. Nice driving by Walton. But do you see how big that difference is? This track, very much like Texas in that way. But also, you got to make sure you're wearing your tires in a way that's going to make sense for both sets of corners, because they are so different. Oh boy. Oh no.
Oh, and they're touching. And they're wrecking.
And Mata, this is going to be huge. We're going to stay green. Oh no, Mata. Oh no, we're not. Oh,
not anymore. Looks like he went right up into Jay Stinson.
Cue that bleep up, me and Gene. There it is. T-bone moment of the race. One of many, I'm sure. That was ugly. Wow. Poor Jay Stinson.
Oh no, I'm just staring.
Oh, you're just staring. I was like, Gene, so you just jaw agape right now?
Yeah. I mean, because we're doing the in-car and we're talking about it and I'm watching it. And we just watch it develop. It's it's the same thing. It is the reputation of the driver. I don't see Sean Walton doing anything aggressive. He's not using his front end, but people know, like Mata right here, you can see he's like, okay, that's Sean Walton. That guy's a jerk. I can drive him however I choose to do so. And you'll just see how close he gets here. I'm not saying that's what Mata's thinking, but on the other hand, as a driver, you have to know if you get into it with the 23, the first finger point, it's going to be at Sean. But look, Sean comes all the way up to pinch him.
Up like that?
Nothing. Oh, because he wanted to put him up against the wall and not let him go anywhere. And then netcode comes in and bada boom, both of the cars are just taken down. So real life, sure, pinch him up against the wall. iRacing, netcode.
I don't know. I did not. Walton has really, in my opinion, turned a new leaf. And let's go watch the death of Jay Stinson here. I'm sorry, Jay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
right up into the 2.
Good night and good luck.
And look at Medina behind him. He's got playoff points to think about. He doesn't need that.
I saw Buddy Sully's name come up too, Mean Gene. Let me see where he was. Okay, there he Sully. He's checking up. He's checking. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, don't you Louie that guy? Don't you do it?
Stinson, stop! Stop hitting the gas. Why is Stinson gassing it up? Oh, so we got Buddy Sully crashing because he just stopped like a responsible person would. I don't know why Hillman's doing that on the outside. I don't know why Jay's trying to make the car go, dude. Stop gassing it up.
Well, imagine his blood pressure is about 250 over 130.
Yeah, I mean, he was very much an innocent bystander there. All right, we're gonna look at this one more time, me and Jane.
What a different camera angle. Let's see something
I was gonna say that. I want to go on board with Sean Walton. I want to see how violently he went to the right. Was he loose, or was that a very stupid side draft?
Oh, I don't know. I think he was just pinning him up against the wall. I've been victimized by people doing that.
So I'll tell you this
quite
right
regularly.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. He's gonna get loose out of here. There it is, right there. Look at that wheel, kind of wobbling right, left. That's very loose. So that first initial, I think he felt like he got hit there by Mata.
Nah, and he looked like he was trying to adjust it, and then he's just. I don't know, man. He's just turning right.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we talk about it a lot. If you know your first name's Sean, your last name's Walton, you maybe shouldn't be doing that.
No bueno.
You're not wrong about the netcode, but you know what netcode also does mean, Gene? And this is something that people like to use. Netcode's kind of like the what's it called? The wheel hop of the
it's
the iRacing world.
Steroids of bad decisions.
Yeah, bro. People are like, oh, I had wheel hop. It's like, oh, so you mean you drove it in too deep, like in real life? Netcode. You know what netcode does mean, Gene? It anticipates contact that it thinks is going to happen inevitably. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's right. I'll leave it at that. Here we go. Getting ready to go green.
Well, all right. So it looks like Alex Hillman was your lucky dog that time. Joe Volpe is going to be your lead car on the inside. That's the 07. Richard Swingle right next to him coming into the Geico Reed car start zone. And away we go. Volpe with a good start on the inside. Hunter Hall behind him. Outside lane, you're going to see Swingle and Jax Duval. A couple of goldfish. Don't let them in your tailpipe because, as we said earlier, that's going to hurt. 07 of Volpus, though, he is trying on this restart, choosing not to pit. Everybody now has been into the pits at least one time. Top cars going in twice is Owens and Bolander. Volpus going to lead him into turn number 3. And he's got a couple of goldfish chasing him down on the outside. Eric Thornton also part of that group. And Joe Volpe is going to lead us through lap number 29.
So all the way back to Hunter Hall in the initial restart did not take tires there, me and Gene. About the top 6 did not take tires. That's how Volpe inherited that lead. That's how Tony Iverson, who was leading, went all the way down to, I believe, 7th to start that. But you're seeing it already. That's the 12 of Hunter Hall, the daily driver's in car, getting eaten up there by Bollinger. It never takes that guy long to be in the mix when he doesn't qualify. But I think you're about to see all the guys who came in. I believe it started with the 11 car that are going to probably work their way through the field relatively quickly here, but it's going to be sketchy. You can see it. These cars are not driving great. And no, I'm sorry, it's Iverson. Already at the 4th place is Iverson, looking for 3rd.
Yeah, Iverson now making his way around Swingle inside. Look at Thornton now trying to put pressure on the 84 of Jax Duvall, last week's winner. Thornton looks like he's going to make that move. Duvall all the way up against the wall, and Iverson's going to come down below. High side hustlers making their way around the Goldfish team.
Tony Iverson looking to the inside of Jax Duvall. I think he wants a 2-for-1 special here. I think he wants, oh my gosh, I think he wants Thornton as well. Thornton tried to shut the door. It was a little bit too late, too little too late, and these fresh tires I think are going to prevail here for the 13 car, Tony Iverson. His teammate puts a squeeze on him on the outside, but Iverson still able to do a great job and get a great run on the exit turn 2 there. Enters low, very low, Mean Gene, but he's going to drive it straight out and inherit the lead back. Behind them, 3 wide, Sean Walton.
Sean Walton again in the middle. He's got Buddy Sully right behind him. The 11 of Owens brings Walton up high. Back down low, Colin Bollinger. Contact between Medina and the 21 of Buddy Sully. Andrew Bolander almost gets caught up in that. All the cars manage to keep it straight. 23 and the 11 side by side. That's Owens on the apron. And the 23 of Walton on the outside. That's for 4th and 5th. Right at him, the 84 of Jax Duvall. Duvall spun Walton last week. Walton brings it in deep. Doesn't make contact. Stays side by side. They're too deep. Look at the speed of Walton on the outside. Looking to go around Jax Duvall.
Walton using those fresh tires to wrap the corner, and just like you said, Mean Gene, getting a massive run out of turn 4, and that's all he needs to get past the 84 Duvall. Whether or not Duvall wants to do something about it, he cannot with that tire situation. Behind them, you're seeing a 3-wide situation starting to form again. Buddy Sully on the inside of Colin Bollinger. Bollinger is already doing a good job. Oh man, I got a slow car on the inside there. I believe that maybe either it's a Goldfish car, it's Duvall. I think Duvall got loose there on the exited 2. That's going to cost him significant positions. A lot of these guys that stayed out, Mean Gene, essentially everyone that isn't named Eric Thornton is paying for it.
Buddy Sully made contact with the rear end of Duvall. Duvall did get loose. Sully hit him, but Duvall managed to keep it on the straight and narrow. Tires, my word, you need them. Look at Joe Volpa's falling all the way back to 20th because of his sorry tire situation. Meanwhile, up front, Iverson and Thornton still controlling this race like we've seen from early on, and Sean Walton in 3rd. Behind him now is Mo Power teammate Colin Bollinger has moved into 4th. And then Jack Sanders continuing to put on a show for the fans, making his way up into the top 5.
We're starting to see the playoff drivers realize it's go time here, Mean Gene. I'm talking about Andrew Bollinger and Colin Bollinger. The 2 tongue twister last names. They are working through the field together. They rarely qualify, and they do a great job working as a team, and they are here now. Bollinger in 4th. Bolander just outside the top 10, but it wasn't long ago that he was inside the top 10. That's just how crazy things are in the middle of this pack right here, Mean Gene. You're seeing Alex Hillman, Michael Mata recovering from that early incident. You know he doesn't have that fast repair to his disposal anymore. Bolander and Guerin get together right there. Guerin getting loose, grabbing her back up together. Great job by him. But wow, it is crazy intense in the middle of the pack, and a lot of these guys are playoff drivers.
Yeah, you can see Kevin Kyle also in that little group trying to make his way around the outside of the 57.
Oh,
nice paint job there by Brandon Guerin. Also, just want to say, I like that 3-tone.
I do too. I like that VRN car of Alex Hillman as well, Mean Gene.
Yeah, how about Hillman coming back? He was a lucky dog recipient, and now he's made his way all the way back up into 8th place. That's 6 spots up from his initial starting position. So got to be happy with what's going on right there, but he's going to need to keep it on that straight and narrow since that fast repair is gone, baby, gone.
Yes, it is. And speaking of gone, baby, gone, Mean Gene, what is Tony Iverson right now? Because where the hell did the rest of the field go?
Yeah, Tony Iverson, he's laying down some smoke right now. 10th of a second faster than his teammate, and 0.3 of a second faster than almost the rest of the entire field. So Iverson showing early speed. The question is, can he have the smooth pit stops and not have trouble with lap drivers? And more importantly, how many cautions will there be to bunch these boys back up? Because that seems to be where the 13 has his most problems, is on that restart when somebody takes 2 instead of 4 or doesn't take any, and then he's got to get by them, and that's when that contact seems to occur.
Look at Iverson right now, Mean Gene. That is him at our bottom left. with our live driver cam. Thank you, Tony, for providing for that for us today. But let's ride on board with him and just look at how loose those arms are in and outside the car, whether it be inside that awesome memorabilia room or inside the race car itself. Very little driver input in terms of how little he's turning the wheel. Watch this, me and Gene. That is what, 7 to 10% wheel
10
there?
degrees.
That is unbelievable. That is exactly what you want. Now we're gonna go into 3 and 4 here. It's gonna require a little bit more wheel, but I think he'll check up early. And there he is. And iRacing a little bit more wheel as I anticipated. Driving off the back tire though, you can hear that wheel screeching a little bit, and that is how you get around this track effectively. And not just that, me and Gene, I've said this a million times. It is so hard to lead a race. I don't know what it is. It just you feel like all eyes are on you. You can't slip up. And I'm looking at this driver cam, and I see a driver that is calm, cool, and collect.
Yeah, it's his time right now. Not a problem for him. Used to being up here, and it's still early in the race, coming up on lap number 42 of our scheduled 135. Meanwhile, other interesting news. Jay Stinson got that fast repair and now finds himself side by side with Buddy Sully. So Stinson showing speed. He is a lap down, but he's showing that speed that he would have had he not been caught up in that early foolishness. So side by side with Sully. Sully currently being shown in 4th place, and then behind him the 53 more power Dr. Pepper car of Colin Bollinger.
I think on top of that, me and Gene, I think Stinson may be on a better tire situation than everybody in front of him. I know it's a full, let's see, Sully, he just passes 5 seconds back to the 13 of Iverson. But I think he might be thinking, let me go out here and get my lap back the hard way, right? I don't have to rely on any cautions. And if we do get that caution, I don't need the lucky dog that's going to put me behind lapped cars or put my pit strategy upside down. Let me go out here and get this done the hard way. And I think that's what Stinson's plan is here. Really driving that 2-car hard, trying to make through this field. And also, me and Gene, we've all been there. It's such a hard balance to strike. Like, how hard do I drive these guys while I'm a lap down? While it's not truly for position right now, right?
No, and he has that ability though to drive fast and not get in the way. Stinson, been a top 10 driver about all of his MRL career, so not a surprise to see him up there. Good to see Jay though back in the mix. Been a few races since we've seen the number 2 Chevrolet out here. I hate that he got caught up in that early foolishness, but Jay laying down the tracks now. Meanwhile, a couple of cars I'm really starting to worry about got to be the 01 of Beverly and the 07 of Vulpes. Now, these guys are 18 seconds behind the leader, and now that the cars have started to spread out, and no one's too close to each other, you got to wonder, and unless the 25 and the 8 can make something happen as far as a caution goes, we could see a lot of green flag racing right here. No curse intended.
I think we missed something with Vulpes, me and Gene, because I checked on him when you mentioned that he was all the way down to 20th about 5-10 laps ago, and he was already about 10 seconds behind the field, and I don't think his pace was that far off. So I think something happened to Vulpes on that initial restart, starting from the lead, having obviously different pace than a lot of the cars behind him due to the tire situation. I think he may have gotten caught up in something. I'm not seeing any damage on that race car, but I'm assuming he may have had a loose moment. Is recovering from that now. Regarding the 01 of John Beverly, I think he's also on an older tire situation, just praying for that caution. And I think if you start to see the 13 of Iverson catch him and start to flirt with putting him a lap down, is maybe when Beverly will pull the cord on that strategy.
All right, I am hearing something about pitting coming over the radio. I think maybe the 12 of Hunter Hall.
Hunter Hall, one of the cars who stayed out. So that does make sense.
I mean, at some point, you got to realize this thing becomes really hard to drive. Not a super speedway, but still, this tri-oval, you can get up to speed, and you do not want to take it up into the wall. We've already seen a couple of cars go up high, and they needed those fast repairs.
Here is Hunter Hall bringing it into the pits. Very early, slowing that car down, going to cost them significant track position, and that is the problem with running a strategy like the 12 did and like other cars in this field did. Mean Gene is they got to pit under caution, and now you don't.
But you got to take a chance if you're going to win, especially, high side hustlers 1 and 2, the Mo Power guys, 3 and 4 and 8. It's hard to beat these super teams. And if you're going to do something, you got to come up with a different way to beat them sometimes rather than just straight on the track. And if you can find that advantage through a tires call or a fuel situation, get lucky with those cautions, I'd take it every time.
Yeah, I totally agree, me and Gene. Sometimes it's the best way to kind of take a risk, and yeah, oftentimes you, when it doesn't go the way you want to, you end up finishing where you would anyway, so why not, right? Here we go. Look at Sean Walton and Bollinger going for it super hard. And one thing to bring up, me and Gene, I think it's kind of visual on track as well. We are about a second off the pace than we were earlier. These guys, I think either dealing with tires or wanting to stretch this run as long as they can. We are starting to approach our stage payout period. No caution for that, but that is where points will be earned. And again, we are in the playoffs right now. Every single point counts, especially I think everybody here in the top 10, not all of them, but the majority of them, playoff drivers.
Yeah, lap 68, whoever's leading on lap 68, that's what they're going to go ahead and award those stage points. Right now we're on 52, so we're about 17 laps away from that moment. I would expect pit stops for everybody before that moment, but hey, you know, if I had $1 for every time I was wrong, I'd be a rich man. Right now, though, I'll tell you who's not making mistakes. That's got to be Tony Iverson. He seems to be on the right pit strategy. No chances being taken by him. And he's got that 2-second lead over his partner, Eric Thornton. Bollinger has moved into third, and he has got that laid down to about 3.81 seconds, but only running a tenth of a second faster than Iverson. So Bollinger's going to need a little bit of help. Green flag the rest of the way would make it tough for him. Thankfully, we're going to see that stage break here on 68.
No stage break, though, Mean Gene. Remember that. We're going to stay
That's
green.
That's right. No stage break. It's just going to be green.
Yeah.
You're SOL.
These guys have signed up for hell on earth if you are on those low tires. And speaking of, if you look on our pylon to the left there, Vulpes came down, as did Beverly, Swingle. Pretty much everybody who ran that alternative strategy, Mean Gene, has come down and put 4 fresh ones on it. The only one left, I think, is the 2 of Stinson right there. And he's plateauing right now. He got around the 23 of Walden, but then the 23 of Walden got back around him. Again, this is not for try position. This is him trying to get his lap back the hard way. And I think right now he's probably realizing it's not going to happen. It might be the time to bring it down into the pits. We'll see what Stinson decides to do here. He is not even the first car 2 laps down anymore due to what happened with Vulpes and Bev having to pit. So I think you bring it down now regardless. And I think our leaders are probably going to want to do that sooner rather than later, me and Gene. These lap times are not looking pretty right now. You could definitely do some damage with the undercut, and look at how gnarly it's getting in the middle of the field, though.
Yeah, especially some of these cars coming out. All of a sudden, you got about 8 or 9 cars all together. Some of them fresh tires, some of them old tires. And nothing worse than coming into a turn a full second faster than the guy in front of you, because it is hard to realize when that moment comes. Right now, Matt Novella out there, he is the first car lead a lap down, trying to get by Iverson, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, it absolutely is, especially with how different everything is. And if you are on old tires, it's possible to drive it. Look at that. Beverly trying to get the outside of Hunter Hall. There just isn't enough room on the track. Look at Beverly all the way against the wall there through the front stretch. That's bold. You can tell that he's comfortable up top. I think he's going to try to wrap the top here, go as much on throttle as possible. But Hunter Hall doing a great job defending. These guys need to be working better together right now to take advantage of their tire advantage, Mean Gene, not racing against each other when they're around other guys who don't have that advantage. This is completely negating that. They got to figure this out. Beverly, that 01 car, you can tell is very, very fast. Just cannot find the gaps that he needs to. And oh my goodness, we might go 4 wide.
Yeah, he had trouble right there getting behind Buddy Sully. Buddy's still on those older tires, causing a little bit of a roadblock issue. Finally, you can see the 12 get around of Hunter Hall, now making it through the 25 of Jack Sanders behind him. But Jack is also on those older tires. So really a heck of a situation. And Beverly going high again.
Wow.
Trying to find any way he can to get around these slower guys.
Look at Beverly, a little crossover move there. Use the top.
Had enough.
He's over it. Oh my goodness. Cuts the nose of the swim. He's over it. He's going.
I love it.
I love it.
I wish my Discord was working. I would play the horn, but unfortunately my Discord's acting crazy. And so not getting it. But look at that. You can see Hunter Hall again, faster tires, making his way. Got John Beverly right behind him as well as they come up on Andrew Bolander. Bolander currently in 6th, but he's on those older tires. Now, these guys are a lap down, so they're going to need a caution to pop up so they can stay out on the track and get waved around. But woo, right now, 13 cars out there, not worried about it because those 13 are still on that lead lap.
Excuse me. Did you see Bolander there saying, "You boys have fun"? He saw what was going on behind him. It's like,
Yeah,
never
wave
mind.
him
I want nothing to do with that. And look at Hunter Hall driving it deep through 1 and 2 there. I'm sorry, 3 and 4. What a move by the 12 of Hunter Hall around Jose Medina on the older tires there. Hunter Hall, I mean, you're right, Mean Gene. I think they do need a caution, but maybe not, because you know how fast these laps are right now compared to the leaders. Hunter Hall putting down laps in the 30s, while you see someone like Tony Iverson in the mid 31s. That will stack up. It's going to be very interesting as, oh no, Medina and Stinson come together there. I apologize, got off the camera there, so I can find it. There they are, Medina and Stinson, a little bit of contact. That was a close one, Mean Gene.
Yeah, Jay Stinson and Medina talking on the radios. My bad, all good. Let's keep going. No bad blood there. Both drivers just trying to make the best they can out of the varying fuel and tire situations. But those 3 cars, the 8 of Bolander, the 54, and the 2, all very close on the track right now. Question is, when is the next group of cars going to make their way down into the pits? Because, as you said earlier, we're looking at 0.8 of a second, almost a full second of speed being gained by these cars with fresh tires. And looks like Eric Thornton has had enough. He's bringing it down.
Mean Gene, I was about to say yesterday at Talladega, if anyone was watching that next gen race, or I'm sorry, that next car cup race, and how boring that thing got. We were just desperate to hear Larry Mack say, "Oh, I think they're gonna be coming down in about 3 or 4," and I think that's this situation right now, Mean Gene. I think Thornton's about to start an avalanche. It's time to bring these cars down and put 4 fresh ones on it.
All right, now here's some exciting, faster cars getting around Sean Walton. Thought that'd be fun, but Hunter Hall and John Beverly make their way around relatively quickly. Meanwhile, Highside Hustler teammates Thornton and Owens down in the pits, getting them some freshies. And that puts 11 cars on the lead lap
It looks like Iverson
once
might be
Thornton and Mata go down.
Is Iverson coming in here? No, he's not. Iverson's going to stay out. Here comes Bollinger. He's going to stay out. Wallen's going to stay out. So our top 3 will stay out, Mean Gene. Bolander up to 4th. Bolander has seeming to been falling off harder than, oh my gosh, than most, as Bolander and Medina racing super hard there for 4th place.
Yeah, he didn't mind getting in the front of Medina, and that still worked out. No issues between the 54 and the 8 there, as the 8 maintains passes and takes over that 4th place position. Then Medina, Alex Hillman behind them in 6th. You can see Jack Sanders, Kevin Kyle going underneath Sanders. Those are teammates, the 27 and the 25, well aware of each other's position on the track, but they dial in the 08 of Hillman now in front of them. Still great run by Hillman, recovering from the early incident, but 27 and 25, we're used to seeing those guys pass in bulk.
Yeah, we are, and those guys do work very well together. As, oh man, a little bit of an overreaction there from Alex Hillman. I think he thought the 27 of Kevin Kyle was going to come up into him. Kyle keeping it below him. I mean, but Hillman doing a brilliant job recovering from that earlier incident that he was involved in. He knows he doesn't have that fast repair, and he's really doing a good job of protecting that 08 and also recovering his track position. Clearly a lot of speed in that VRN car of Alex Hillman. We'll see if he's able to keep it together for long enough. As here we go, Mean Gene. I think it's about to be time to pay out some points for this stage, and I think right when we cross that line, it'll be time to put some tires on them. If you're Tony Iverson, Colin Bollinger, Sean Walton, anyone really in our top 7, 8.
Yeah, here we go. I think it's going to be 68, so this will be one more. That's the one. Here we go. Iverson bringing it around.
Bring it
10 guys still being shown on the lead lap, so that'll be real easy to figure out who those guys are going to be.
And look at this.
Oh, and Iverson going to bring it in. This ought to be interesting. So let me ask you, when he brings it into the pits, when does he get credit for crossing the start-finish line if he comes into the pits?
How'd you know he's going to bring it in? You're ahead of me, Mean Gene. Yeah, here is Iverson bringing it in. He would have to lead this lap, to my knowledge, and he's not going to.
No, Bollinger.
Maybe, I don't want to speculate too much. Maybe it was the end of 67?
No, Only Wednesday nights do that.
Then yeah, Bollinger just got himself a stage. I think Iverson, he's about to cross it. He's gonna come home in about 8th place, Mean Gene. And if what if what we're saying right now is correct, my guess would be Tony Iverson thinks right now, I'm gonna win this damn thing, so I don't care about the stage.
Yeah, that's what you need. You just need to win this thing. The points aren't so tight for him at this stage where he needs to count those points, especially if he could come through with just a straight dub. All right, pits are opening up now. You can see Hillman and Jack Sanders both bringing it down. Colin Bollinger now calling out on the radio. Sean Walton also going to bring it in. Let's see who stays out. I wonder if Bolander will stay out one more lap just to try to lead one. Here comes Medina making that call as well.
Picture
yep, the 8th's going to stay out
from Bollinger there, me and Gene. Picture perfect.
Of course. All right, and so Andrew Bolander does stay out. Want to go ahead and lead him a lap and get him some points. Kevin Kyle directly behind him. So we're going to rotate around. The question is, how far up will the cars that pitted early be, and how long can they stay out on those older tires? Because this is significant amount of laps, right?
Yeah, it really is, me and Gene, and that's really what we're going to have to see, like what adds up and how long that second strategy wants to go. Here we are on board with Bolander. I think he was a little too conservative there, me and Gene. I think Bollander's going to lose a little bit of time on track there, but that's one thing I, as a driver, am often guilty of, because I always just think better safe than sorry, right? I'd rather give up a little bit of time there than speed or something. But Bolander, yeah, I'm very curious to see like where he cycles out versus like an Alex Hillman, versus even Jack Staval, Michael Mata, guys who did very alternative strategies. It is an open field right now of a lot of different strategies. Here we are. I'm sorry. It is Tony Iverson and Eric Thornton. Very different tire strategies here. I think Thornton coming in about 5-6 laps earlier than Tony Iverson. Let's find out how important that is.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kevin Kyle was the last car to stay out one lap up on that lead lap. So Kevin Kyle also leading that last lap. Going to go ahead and get him some bonus points as well.
Tony Iverson all over the rear of the one of Thornton. He is trying to put every ounce of pressure. Don't forget, these guys are teammates, so you think there'd be some respect shown here, but this racing is very, very hard, Mean Gene. Tony Iverson has shown one thing today, and that's that he wants to lead and he doesn't want to wait. He wants that clean air as soon as he can get it.
Yeah, he's got 6 flat pressure tires as well, so that is definitely going to play into Iverson's advantage. Michael Mata behind them. He's got 11 lap older tires than Iverson. And then 4th, Colin Bollinger. Colin just pitted lap 70, 2 lap fresher tires than all those guys, but Bollinger being shown 6 seconds back. So really keeping an eye on Iverson and Thornton, who are separated by 0.3 of a second. And then there's Michael Mata, who's only 1 second behind those guys as well.
Yeah, Mata showed a ton of speed today. He had that early incident with Walton, but beyond that, that 16 car has been a rocket ship, so I'd expect him to be up there soon as well, Mean Gene. I'm looking for his pit lap. Oh boy, Michael Mata is actually significantly on older tires than the cars in front of him, so we'll actually see how long that takes. But one other guy I want to talk about real quick that we haven't talked about enough today is the 56 of Matt Novella. This is a playoff driver who has put together a really, really solid race today. He is doing what he has to do. I'll pull up the playoff settings super quick here. There is Matt Novella. He actually is the first car out right now, Mean Gene. So he really just needs to make sure that he finishes 4 spots ahead of Medina. And so far, so good for the 56 of Matt Novella.
Yeah, he's right at that spot. He's in 6th. You can see Medina in 9th. And then the other car to look at would be Jack Sanders. Also very, very close playoff points. Sanders currently in 15th, but Sanders, you know, he pitted on lap 69 to take his tires. Meanwhile, Novella, lap 52, he has the oldest one of the guys with the oldest tires out there. Going to need a little bit of help. Swingle also on old tires, and look at Joe Vulpes, 50 lap 50. So Vulpes on 26 lap old tires. I guess Joe's hoping for a late caution to have an extra one more set of tires than everybody else. The 07 is known for strategy, but right now that strategy might be hurting.
Yeah, I think it's Vulpes and Mata, Mean Gene. Last time I talked about Michael Mata, he was 1.5 seconds back. Now it's 3.6. Granted, Bollinger, who does have 14 lap fresher tires, not closing the gap the way he should be on Michael Mata, but I really have my eye on that 16, Mean Gene. I think if I wish I knew how many laps you can go on fuel. To me, it looks like 40, if I'm not crazy. So I don't think Iverson and Thornton can make it on this run. So maybe Mata trying to stretch it till the very moment he can make it on fuel and then use that tire advantage that he will have on the other side of this. I think there's a universe where the 16 wins this race, Mean Gene.
Wouldn't be surprised. We've seen Michael Mata in victory lane before, and today might be a repeat of history. But there's going to be other people out there that he is competing with, people that need to win to advance, people that are going to take chances. And I don't just mean on pit strategy and fuel strategy. I'm talking about out there on that track. The same way we saw John Beverly on those fresh tires making moves, I think we could easily see a desperate driver come up and make those moves there at the end. You know, there's a Sean Walton cannot afford to be on the outside looking in, so he might have to get a little bit more aggressive. I don't know how you can put those sentences together, those words together in the same sentence, but he might have to be more aggressive than we've seen him before if he wants to move up. And like a Jose Medina, if all of a sudden he sees a driver behind him going to win, what's he going to do to improve his points and track position? Same thing with the Jack Sanders. So much on the line once you reach the elimination race, and that's exactly where we are right now. Though Tony Iverson firmly points control, a race control, and he's in on points. So if this guy goes, then all of a sudden we're just looking and doing math. I got my shoes off to count above 10.
Same here, Mean Gene. I'm ready. But I think the same thing. Tony Iverson, if this thing does get hairy towards the end and control the race that he has so firmly right now, starts to slip away, he will have to make those decisions in a good point situation to move on. Don't screw it up now. And Michael Mata now, I spoke too soon. He is getting caught by Bollinger. It's only a matter of time until Mata loses that track position. I think when he pits, we'll answer any speculation we have about how long these cars can go, because I don't think Mata will bring it in until he knows, if it's possible, Mean Gene, that he doesn't have to pit again. So let's keep our eye on that. But right now, this is Iverson's race to lose, doing everything he has to. And we've seen this before, Mean Gene, and we know how upside down these races can get.
A couple other cars on their own strategy is going to be like, if you look at Brandon Guerin and Kevin Kyle, they pitted on lap 72, but they're currently being shown all the way back in 19th and 20th. Nothing wrong with those cars. So it makes you wonder if they are trying to do some kind of strategy thing and extending a fuel run.
It really does, Mean Gene. And it's, oh boy.
Oh, Kyle Lewis into the back of Louis.
Louis very loose there. And he is on that older strategy, Mean Gene. Those are some old tires for Steve Lewis. I think just trying to drive and survive and get to the end of this stint here. But I'll tell you what, Mean Gene. We have a little bit of a, not a lull, but we got some spread out cars. And our audio is working. You want to try to crank it up for a couple minutes?
Yeah, knock her out.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to reset my Discord.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that's the curse of the crank it up if I've ever seen it.
That was, yeah, lap 84. Stinson got loose. Walton tapped him on that left rear.
Here we go. Let's take a look at it, Mean Gene.
That got loose, and then I think you see Walton try to go under, and Stinson, I think a toe link must have broke because his car swerved hard to the left into Walton, causing that wreck. Let's see.
Here he is to the inside of Stinson. Oh.
Yeah, and then you could see where the toe link broke on Stinson.
Yeah. For sure. Like, that's what that looks like to me as well.
Yeah. So this is going to tighten it back up. This is what Vulpes needed. This is what those guys that were on those old tires needed. Now we're all back together. Those of us that need tires can take tires. We can all get a little bit of fuel. Still curious about if they can make it to the end. 52 laps remaining. So I think we're still going to need one more pit stop.
It might turn into a gas mileage race, Mean Gene. You know, guys like Joe Volpe is so good at that. Oh, some people do. Me, not one of them. But yeah, people like that. I would not be surprised to see this thing turn into a gas mileage race at all, Mean Gene. We'll have to see. And have this on the screen, because who knows how many more cautions we'll get. I'm going to assume a few. But we are only 8 subscribers away right now from this giveaway being launched. Go ahead and scan that QR code. Subscribe to VRN. This is where the home of the MRL Monday Night Series will be in just, 4 races time, Mean Gene. So it's only a matter of time. And we also have some new leagues launching there, and the first exhibition of which will be next week. So get signed up,
Next
guys.
week?
Yeah. Not for this, for an exhibition, not for the actual.
Right. Yeah. We're not till what? May, like June, right?
Yeah.
Is when it really starts.
I gotta get married first, or else my fiance would kill me.
It's gonna be a VRN. Is VRN gonna cover it?
Yes, it will. It will all be live, including the exhibitions. What do you know about recruitment races? Which is not what they are. They're exhibitions being broadcasted. That's what we're gonna be doing there on the DDRL. But here we go, Mean Gene, getting ready to go green.
Alrighty, so once again, getting ready to go live here. Tony Iverson in the lead. He is your control car. Eric Thornton behind him, waiting to see.
Bollinger.
Oh, a little bit of contact back there. Louis hitting Kyle, hitting Walton. Bollinger jumps out.
Huh. Should we keep an eye on that?
Well, race control said it's going to be under review, so we'll just have to wait and see what they say.
That was
Meanwhile,
interesting. Let's keep going.
Up front, Tony Iverson jumps out to a good lead over Michael Mata. He's going to have a couple of car length lead, but Mata starting to close that gap behind them. Thornton is side by side with Hillman. Hillman on the bottom gets a good run, brings Medina with him as Thornton fades back. Jack Sanders in that picture. Buddy Sully 7, Novella 8, Richard Swingle 9, Jax Duvall in 10th. Up front, though, Iverson continues to lead Michael Mata. Mata has shown speed all day long. Mata now with the tires that he thinks he's going to need, but no, he's actually still on those old tires he took on lap 57.
Why is he doing that? That's crazy. That Michael Mata is not. Yeah, I have the same data available to me here, Mean Gene. Why did he not? Okay, whatever. Michael Mata there, though, in second place, doing a great job. I mean, that 16 car clearly is so fast. You would think that he'd be checked out by now. I'm thinking maybe what happened is on that early incident, he accidentally took tires when he didn't mean to. And now he's having to sacrifice a few. Oh, I see smoke, Mean Gene.
That's a song.
Oh no. Look at that. That is
Hold on
Swingle.
to it, Joe.
Oh, man. Swingle, Kevin, Kyle. This is a disaster back here.
Yeah, Swingle up and down, up and down. He's got Jay Stinson with him. Remember, Stinson just in that incident back on lap 84, 7 laps ago. Doesn't want to get into another one. There's no way he's got another faster pair.
Here's the replay, Mean Gene. What went wrong here? Here's Swingle, and then the matching Goldfish cars coming around this corner. And what? Wait, oh, it looks like Novella gets shipped inside, gets in the 25. I cannot believe we did not end up with an enormous wreck here. Wow.
Lots of Tokyo drifting.
Oh, yeah. Oh! And these guys now grazing the outside wall on entry. They are going for it, Mean Gene. It's gotten crazy intense out here.
Yeah, this restart really making it go wild. So some guys did come in and take tires. Specifically, we're looking at Buddy Sully. He took tires there on 86, as did Duval, Novella, and Joe Volpes. So these guys should be a little bit faster now on the track. Meanwhile, up front, Tony Iverson continuing to lead. He's got a 6/10 lead over Hillman. They're running about the same speed right now. Remember, those guys are on about the same tire strategy. 68 for Iverson, 69 for Hillman. Behind them, Jose Medina, playoff driver, right there on that cut line, really making a good show of it. Buddy Sully and Michael Mata has tried to stop the bleeding, being on those older tires, but you can see Duval peeking under him, and he's about to bring that train of cars.
Me and Gene, one thing that also stuck out to me there in that restart, we've talked about it a lot today. Thornton and Iverson are teammates, so you know what you do when you have a teammate in the front row. You count them down. There's no surprises for anybody, so you can protect that track position. That did not work out for Eric Thornton. He went from first all the way down to fifth, as you see Mata graze the outside wall there. But on the initial restart, now Thornton is all the way down to 12th place, Mean Gene. Not the restart he needed. He is one of those cars on older tires right now, but he is not able to keep any sort of track position. And one guy that I don't want to gloss over is Alex Hillman. How the hell did this guy recover to be all the way back in second place? We also speculated about that 08 being extremely fast and just having some bad luck to start this race. Alex Hillman in the playoffs by virtue of a win. I believe that it was at Iowa earlier this season, but there goes Medina to the inside of the 08. Medina, also a former teammate of Alex Hillman. No love lost between these two as they are side by side through 3 and 4.
Yeah, Medina needing that good run. These guys on pretty much similar tires right now. Buddy Sully behind them on really new tires. So Sully would love to get by this moving roadblock that has been created by the 54 and the 8. Who loves it? Tony Iverson loves it, because now he's going to pump that gap up just a little bit more, up to 0.6 of a second. Look at how tight they are. Duval says, I am not a patient man. Look at him, just pushing right through the middle. Sully backs off, doesn't want anything to do with it. Hillman not willing to give up the position. Medina gonna race him, and this is some exciting racing. Look at that. Sully, Novella, Volpes, Hillman, 3 wide here at Kentucky.
Unbelievable driving right here. And I think if you're Jax Duvall, Mean Gene, I think the reason why you take a risk like that, like you saw from him, is I think he thinks this is the race for the win, and I'm pretty sure it is. Jax Duvall and Buddy Sully on extremely significantly fresher tires than Tony Iverson and essentially everybody else around them. They pit on lap 86. Tony Iverson, 68. Jose Medina, 70. Hillman, 69. Nice. And beyond that, they're all gone by now, Mean Gene. No one else besides those three is anywhere beyond 10th place. So Jax Duvall did what he had to do, and look how quick that is, Mean Gene. He's already took Tony Iverson. Here we go for the lead.
Yep, look at how quickly he makes it up there with those fresher tires. One guy we didn't mention also on those fresh tires, Joe Volpes. He's sneaking in there, currently being shown as well on that same strategy as Jax Duvall. He's in 6th, and he just got by Alex Hillman. Up front, though, Duvall now taking over the lead. Remember, he won last week at Talladega, caused a wreck and made it through a wreck on that last 2 laps to take the victory. Jax Duvall, top driver that didn't make the playoffs, and Jax Duvall, Final 4 driver in Season 3. Didn't cause the wreck on Sully, and that cost him the championship. Maybe Duvall learned a little bit of how to use that bumper, because he sure has been aggressive here today.
He's also just been raw fast, Mean Gene. Duvall has been really, really quick the past couple of weeks. Raw. And here goes, also keep your eye on this 56 here of Matt Novella. That Daily Driver's Inc. 56 Shark Reaper race car is looking like a Reaper on that 13 right now to Tony Iverson. Who's the scarier horror creature right now? It looks like it's going to be the Daily Driver's Inc. Shark Reaper. Boom! Matt Novella to second place. He's another one, Mean Gene. He pit on the same exact lap as Jax Duvall. And I can tell you something about Matt Novella. You can tell by that paint job. A teammate of mine in other leagues. Somebody who I've grown very close with the past couple of weeks. As you see, Buddy Sully struggling with those tires. Grazing the outside wall outside of 2 there. But Matt Novella, Mean Gene, you know what he has not done in 2025?
What?
One. He has not won a race
he ain't
yet.
won.
He hasn't won on Thursdays. He hasn't won on Wednesdays. He hasn't won on Mondays. And Matt Novella is not a driver who is content to not sit in victory lane for that long amount of a time. He is too good. He is an MRL champion, for God's sake. This guy is a Thursday night champion not long ago at all on back-to-back wins. He knows how to get it done, and Matt Novella is hungry, Mean Gene.
Yeah, the 56 car definitely wanting to put himself back up in there in that position. Would love to hear the music of the 56 coming through. I'll tell you what, you talked about scary drivers and scary people. You know who's scary right now? That's got to be the owner of the one car of Eric Thornton. Thornton just came down and took 4 tires.
Yeah, Eric Thornton coming down and taking 4 tires. Eric Thornton, the first one to bite the bullet here, Mean Gene. And we've speculated 86, so...
oh, here comes his buddy. Here comes Iverson.
No way. Yeah. Okay, Mean Gene, so you know what that tells me? 86
Everybody
minus 135.
tires.
Everyone needs fuel. Who cares about tires? Screw that, right? Like, if you can get to the end of the race, you do that thing. But if you don't have enough fuel, that's not up to you.
Yep. And now Medina's making that call, so it's happening. Nobody wants to get short pitted. This is exactly what a short pit is created for. You're in a pack. Everybody's running similar lap times. Hey, come down before the other guys, especially now. There's 31 laps to go. Come down, take 4 tires, get a couple of second lead because of the short pit, and find yourself in victory lane. And that's what Thornton and now Iverson are doing.
Oh, what a recovery by Medina there. I hope that wasn't a penalty for the 54 Medina, but you're right, Mean Gene, and that was the next thing I was going to ask you. If you're Jax Duvall or Matt Novella right now, you did what you had to do. That strategy worked. You're in the lead now. If you pit, it's all even. As long as you have tires, it's all even. But what if we get a caution with 15 to go? We've seen how important tires are today. Then you might be caught with your pants down if someone running in 6th right now or 5th place right now decide to hold on and take that risk. What would you do right now, Mean Gene, if you're Duvall or Novella?
Well, I think if they do come down, they're probably just going to take right sides.
Wow.
At the most. Because they're running, lap 86 is when the last time that they did that. But suddenly, these other guys are on 19, 20 lap fresher tires than you. And if there's a caution, pray to God that you saved a pair. That's what Joe Vulpes did. I think that's why he ran so long earlier, still on that lead lap up at the front right now. But these guys probably need to come down and take a little bit more fuel. Another guy that was playing that game, David Owens, he's now snuck up into that 4th position. Swingle behind him. So, yeah, looking up there at the top 5 guys, you can see all of them pitted on lap 86 or lap 87. So, real question is, when they come down, if they must, I think they do.
Me too.
Tires or just fuel and say, well, I'm about to run 80 laps of crap tire.
So let me lay out that scenario for me and Gene, because I'll be honest, I did not even think about that, the 2-tire option. So I love that, and on paper, I love that. And I think, because you take 2 tires, that's about a 5-6 second difference in this race car. And that is extremely significant, especially if you're going to stay out right now on these older tires, and you're losing time, right? You're losing time to Medina. You're losing time to Iverson, Thornton, even Stinson. You're losing significant time that you cannot afford. But not just that, Mean Gene. What I always seem to forget as a race car driver when it comes to 2 tires, you haven't practiced that yet. You have no idea what that feels like. Sometimes you just think, okay, I can kind of envision it, right? It's going to be about 75% of what freshies would feel like. Other times, it's just loose as all hell, and it feels like a different racetrack and a different race car. And then beyond that, Mean Gene, I think it's going to be a lot about how long you can stay out or how long you want to stay out. If you want to stay out, or if you want to pit soon, I don't think you can take 2 because you need to put so much fuel in it to make it to the end, because these things got to be bone dry, right? That you might as well put on 4 because you're going to be in there filling up later anyway. However, if you can get to 15 to go and you only need a splash, I actually really like that idea of 2 tires. Not just that, Mean Gene, but uncharacteristically, I would say, if you know what you're doing around here, you can maintain a lead for 4 or 5 laps on a restart on very old tires. So 2 tires shouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, we've seen Michael Mata make a living off of doing that on that restart. I'll tell you what, you talked about how long can you stay out. Oh, how long can you stay in? Jose Medina did catch a penalty, ended up being on pit lane there for about a minute and a half.
That's why
looks like Kevin Kyle also went a lap down because of the same thing. Look at that, he was in there for $120 or a little bit earlier.
You're right. Brutal stops from both that. Medina, yeah, an extra lap down. I was confused about that. Jose Medina, he's a playoff driver, meaning he cannot afford that, not even a little bit. And also, gosh, I'm trying not to freak out every time I see it, but these guys, one of them in this field, I think it's a dirty air thing. They're grazing that outside wall every other lap. It's going to catch up to them. We always say that, and it does. But okay, me and Gene, let's look at our pylon in our top left right now. And this is also what I'm concerned about. If I'm Duvall or Owens here, doing something risky, right? Taking 2 tires. I don't think if you're Lewis,
they got to think about tires, though, because look, it's a second. It's almost a second faster for Iverson and Thornton. They're running 0.8 of a second faster per lap.
But it must be so risky to come in early because, like, if you're, Beverly, Lewis, why do you pit, right? Run it dry. Here comes Novella, though. Here comes Duvall as well. Let's watch this, me and Gene. Let's see. Here we go. Moment of truth here from Novella and Jax Duvall. 2 tires, 4 tires, which is a splash of fuel. It's going to be 20 to go. Great entry there. Novella, top of your screen. There's 2 tires.
There's the rights on both of them. Great camera right here.
There's the lefts. So it's going to be 4 for Duvall. Oh, 2 for Novella. 2 for Novella, Main Gene. Look at that gap.
We might hear the music.
Oh, man. You are a fortune teller, my friend. Because
get ready.
Matt Novella. Now, how unpredictable will this car be? You're right. Here he comes. Those tires will be older. There'll be 4 of them, Mean Gene, but they'll be significantly older. I don't hate this by Novella. I'm fascinated. And look at the top of our screen. That is Tony Iverson. There goes Tony.
Joe took 4.
So Joe takes 4. I'm assuming Sanders takes 4. And we are at the point outside of Owens, Swingle, Lewis, and J-Bev to where we're at a fully legitimate race, I believe, me and Gene. These guys, the only...
Sanders 5.07 second.
That is gas only. That is gas.
Oh, God. He's side by side with Vulpes. That's terrifying.
Oh, let's go watch that.
Get away from me with your tires. Get away.
Yeah, I don't hate the idea from the 1197 Lewis in the 88 and even the 01 Bev. Why not, me and Gene? Because you're seeing these blends, how sketchy this is. Nobody is on the same tire situation. Literally nobody. So it's all bets are off right now, and no one really knows how to race each other and has the data available to them to know what to do. You see Hunter Hall about 50 miles per hour off the pace there. Here comes Matt Novella looking the inside of Brandon Guerin. And had a Neapolitan paint scheme of Brandon Guerin. Novella,
lots of speed right there. These guys trying to get their lap back the old-fashioned way. David Owens currently being shown as your race leader. He's 7 seconds ahead of Beverly, 5 ahead of Steve Lewis, and that's about where those lap drivers currently find themselves. So Tony Iverson just got by Steve Lewis on the track, and Lewis is 5 seconds behind Owens, but Owens is gonna have to pit, so we're gonna see exactly how that all transpires. 8 cars on the lead lap, but Tony Iverson, again, he pitted on lap 105, making moves, currently in 9th, almost all the way up. Only 2 cars remain between Iverson and the lead lap.
Yeah, man, Gene, and so it's all the way down to Bullender in 8th place, have yet to pit. 86 and 87 was the lap that group has pit on, the 11 being on 87, solely 86. Most of them, actually it's 4 on 4, with 2 different lap differences there. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned for the truly fast cars in this race, like Iverson. I think they're going to try to stretch it all the way, me and Gene.
I mean, and look, the other thing I'm noticing about Owens, as he lets Jay Stinson just go right on by. David Owens had a 5-second pit stop on lap 87.
Listen to this car. Man, Jen. He's barely driving it.
It's going.
He's barely driving it.
Pit, 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 pit,
Box, box.
pit.
Box.
Please pit, pit, please pit.
Off throttle, downshift. I don't know why he's downshifting. Oh, I get it. For the engine braking. That makes sense. Mean Gene, like, what was that last lap? A 32.72. Unless David Owens does a caution that he's all too known for, this is going to hurt him. And there goes Swingle. That's Swingle for the lead there, Mean Gene. And that's Novella behind him. And Novella got Iverson. Novella got Iverson. That is the lead. That is the race for the lead right there, Mean Gene. If these guys, oh my gosh.
Let's go 4 wide, Hunter Hall. Way to go. That was exciting. Iverson gets around the outside. Swingle slowed down a little bit. Novella takes the lead. Now remember, those guys are getting their lap back. So Iverson and Novella are now back on the lead lap.
They are.
And they're if somehow Swingle and Owens could push this, there's just no way. Swingle, Owens,
Novella
Lewis, Beverly, Sully, Bollinger.
Look at Novella, Mean
There's
Gene.
no way these fellas can make that happen.
No, I don't think so either. And honestly, they are so damn slow, Mean Gene. Oh my God, what a close by Novella. But they are so slow, they might just pass them on speed. Honestly, they are so off the pace.
They might catch that black flag from NASCAR if this was a official Cup race.
Seriously, they're not even making it speed right now. You're not kidding.
No.
Yeah, their last lap was a 31.7, 32 from Owens. Like, there's just no way in hell, Mean Gene. No, we have 10 to go, and we're gonna be talking a 2.5 second difference. They're gonna get past on track. If I'm them, you don't have the lap advantage anymore. And there it is, Steve Lewis bringing it in now. But this is, in my opinion, Mean Gene, this is the race for the win. It's between Matt Novella and Tony Iverson. And Matt Novella, you saw, get back past Iverson. And Mean Gene, you called it. It was 2 tires. So far, 10 to go. That, I think, was the move.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Steve Lewis now coming in and out of the pits. Go ahead, and he just takes right sides. Why not? And looks like John Beverly now going to come down there, leaving Swingle and Owen still being shown in the lead. But how much further can they go?
That's the ball behind Iverson.
Before they got to bring it in.
There goes the ball. This will be for track position, Mean Gene. This race, oh man, I feel like I've said this past 3 weeks. It is falling apart in front of Tony Iverson.
Well, all Iverson can do is keep on turning left and hold his line and hope he doesn't get caught up by anybody doing foolishness in front of him. Foolishness, of course, being running 2 seconds a lap slower. Looks like Joe Volpus now laying down laps. Remember, Volpus did end up coming in to pit as well, as Volpus is going to make his way by Swingle and get back on the lead lap the good old-fashioned way. But Volpus still being shown about 3 seconds behind Iverson. And then after that, lots of cars, wow, all the way up to Novella. But still, top 6 cars, will they pit or will they try to push? I think David Owens is pretty much committed. I don't know about the other drivers, because Swingle's still showing a little bit of speed out there.
Mean Gene, we're never...
Owens, 34.01 for Owens.
That is disgustingly slow. Disgustingly slow. And also, Mean Gene, we're never talking to Joe Volpus again. He turned off his camera.
Joe! Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. All right, Jay Stinson has brought it behind the wall. He's had enough.
What is Richard Swingle doing here, Mean Gene? Because either Owens... They pit on the... Swingle pit a lap before Owens. Does Swingle think he can make it? Oh, is he out of fuel right now? Swingle off the pace. No, he's fine.
I don't know. He's just running it, buddy.
It's only 7 more, Mean Gene. Can Swingle pull this off? Can Sully pull this off? Can Bollinger pull this off?
He was just at Talladega, so maybe he has a little bit extra something we don't know about. He went there in real life.
Not to mention, I think the 11 is driving so unbelievably slowly because he's made his choice. He's not going to pit. I think Swingle... I don't know, I don't think Swingle can make it. I don't think anyone can besides the 11. It's 10 seconds back to Novella. He's running 34s. Novella should get him. This is going to be thrilling, Mean Gene.
Yep, and Novella about to fight with Sean Walton for position. Looks like Walton's going to hold that middle line. Let Novella go by cleanly. Good for him there. Well,
oh my
John
goodness.
Beverly still making a run as well. You can see Hunter Hall there on the bottom. So still A lot of cars that have 2-tire or 4-tire speed, whereas still a few boys, but now they're catching them. This is where we're starting to see these guys that pitted catch up. Matty Novella making those moves. Jax Duvall in 8th, trying to catch up. Joe Volpus in 10th. And here comes Swingle. He's had enough.
Here it comes, Mean Gene. Real quick, let's listen in. It's sputtering. It's sputtering, Mean Gene.
Sounds like a Eminem rap song.
It does.
It's got a beat. All right, Buddy Sully going to take the lead now. Buddy still making it work out there, praying.
Novella has passed Owens. He's passed Bollinger. This is Matt Novella's race, Mean Gene. I think he's got it. Buddy Sully, 6 seconds ahead. Does he have enough fuel? Because that's the only way anyone beats the 56 right now.
Yep, it could be his time, but Buddy Sully, we've seen him make magic happen before.
Man, Mean Gene, I want to see it real quick. I think Matt Novella just put together one of the sexiest moves you'll ever see, because he got past. Yeah, let's take a quick look at what Novella did, because this might be the race, the pass for the win. This might
do a replay on the 27 just now, please. Can you go back and do a little replay on the 27? Looked like the one in the 27 wanted to touch.
Ooh, did they? Here's the 27. I'll go a little bit further ahead, and let's see. Oh, they're close. They're close, Mean Gene.
When we touch.
Oh,
when we touch.
Yeah.
When we kiss. When we touch.
Oh.
Danger. High voltage.
No love lost.
That's what we just saw right there.
2 to go, Mean Gene. Buddy Sully has a 3-second lead. Does he have enough fuel? Okay, here we go, Mean Gene. There's 2 to go. I mean, the lap difference, it's
Look at it just dying. 2.94. 2.94.
It's enough.
2.92.
Matt can get him on speed too, Mean Gene. Oh boy, here we go.
1.8 seconds faster last lap. So here comes the gap. Buddy Sully, can he have enough fuel to hold on to this lead coming through the Geico restart zone? Bam. He is on the last lap. Matt Novella has closed the gap to 2 seconds. Novella charging. Duvall behind him trying to close that gap as well. Sully, though, can he pull off the miracle? He's in the backstretch.
Is that a fuel, Mean Gene? Is that a fuel? Is that a fuel, Mean Gene?
Oh, clutch it.
There he goes. There goes Matt Novella to the outside.
Novella, here comes Duvall with him. Matt Novella, it could be time. And he's through the restart zone, and he's across the line.
Matt Novella. Man, that guy deserves that, Mean Gene. He deserves it. And wow. That was dramatic, and I bet you're about to see a butt tap from his friend in the 84 at Jax Duvall. That was dramatic, and I mean, hats off to Buddy Sully for even making it interesting. How the hell did he do that?
I had a feeling the music was coming. Matt Novella is going to punch his ticket into the next round. What a day for the 56. You said he was knocking on the door all day. No more knocking on the door. He kicked that sumbitch in. Didn't even have the police battering ram with him. Matt Novella is going to take the win. Jax Duvall follows up last week's first place with a number 2 finish. And then Colin Bollinger continues. He's in 3rd. Sean Walton in 4th. Bolander 5th. Good run there by the Mo Power boys, 3, 4, and 5. Joe Volpe is going to finish 6th. Buddy Sully puts around to 7th. Tony Iverson, broken-hearted, finishes 8th. Alex Hillman 9, Michael Mata 10. And who were the boys on the cusp? Who were we looking at on that line? It was Medina, who finishes 18th, and Sanders, who finishes 16th. Oh, these points are going to be interesting.
Oh my God, Agent, I cannot wait to see what those points look like. And I think my bias came out a tiny bit there, so I will apologize for that. But honestly, it's not just for that paint scheme on that car and him being a teammate of mine on Thursdays, but it's just like him being a good friend of mine and somebody who works his ass off week in and week out, me and Gene, and he's done nothing wrong besides be a exemplary driver towards what an MRL driver should be, and he has not gotten the rewards for it, and he finally did today this season. I know what Matt's been going through, and it warms my heart to know he got that win. And I mean, let's be fair, I mean, Gene, Buddy Sully, a very, very close friend of ours, someone I consider one of my closest sim racing friends out in the world. But man, Matt Novello, what an insane way, me and Gene, to make sure that you punch your ticket to the round of 8, because that right there is going to make the point situation that's going to be dropping any minute now even more complicated.
Yeah, going to be exciting to see exactly what drivers will be in and what drivers will be out. But one guy we know definitely going to be in after that win, Matt Novello. What a big day for that guy. You just got to be so happy to see Matty finally score after the season that he's had. Always close, but not quite getting on there. I'm still curious, though, what's going to happen. You know, Walton on the outside looking in, but finishes 4th. Also got stage points.
Penalties to me and Gene. I think penalties might be incoming for that 23 car. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, that is painful. Painful to think about, but I went ahead and put in a little message about, hey, let's update some points. And here we go.
We got him.
Points are updated.
Give me just a minute, ladies and gents, and I will pull those up for you. But yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, we can't. All right. We got to chill, Mean Gene. Not until the people can see it.
I
know. This is a lot.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy.
This is a lot.
And the beat goes on. The beat goes on.
Oh, boy. We're about to drop this bomb.
I'll tell you what. All right, so of course, Daniel Smith out.
And who else is out, me and Jane?
Let's see. Well,
wait, that cannot be right. That can't be right.
No. You know, you need to go to.
Oh, wait, that's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. You just got to go to the season standings. All right, so here's who's eliminated. I'll go through it. Daniel Smith eliminated because he no-showed. So he's out. Dropping 1 point, Alex Hillman. He's out. Dropping 2 points, Jose Medina and Jack Sanders also on the outside looking in.
Oh, my
Jumping
God.
up 3 spots. That's right. Local hero Sean Walton is going to take the number 8 spot and make his way into the round of 8.
What's it? Oh, Mean Gene.
Kevin Kyle 7, Matt Novella 6. Would have made it on points, but it feels good to win. Joe Volpes 5th, and Andrew Bolander 4, Iverson 3, Owens 2, and Colin Bollinger would have taken points going into that next round of 8.
I mean, Gene,
Exciting.
I don't want to speculate here. If Walton,
you want to see penalties.
If Walton,
all right. Well, tell you what we're going to do.
If you got a 5-point penalty, would he have moved on?
I don't know. We're going to find out. But I'll tell you what, that's something for the post-race show. Remember, after this, we're going to have a post-race show on the Vortex Racing Network inside the Mayhem. We'll put that on at about 11:45 Central, about 12:45 Eastern. But for now, let's go ahead and pull in some drivers. Let's do some post-race interviews from what we just saw, and then we can go ahead and get into the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and exactly what happened. So you do get a bonus interview. Anybody in particular you want to chat with?
Let's bring in Joe Volpes.
You want to bring in a Joe Volpes? Let's see if I can stalk him down. Joe's probably somewhere having to watch.
Oh wait, the Volpes cam went away.
Having to watch. Yeah, we can call him out for that. All right, I'm pulling him in. Here you go. Get him.
Hey, Joe, we got you.
Hello.
I didn't even care about your race. Why'd your camera go down?
What's up with that?
Oh. Well, yeah, it completely ruined my race, actually.
No.
For the most part. So like, if you guys were watching, I was leading at the start there, right?
Yeah.
And then I disappeared. And then I came back at the back of the field. It happened again later. I think actually 2 other times. And I think what the message was that showed up, it was saying clock smash at the end of it. I'm like, I wonder if I'm overclocking from having the camera on while I'm racing. So I closed out the VDO, and that actually fixed the problem. So I was on the back foot for a lot of the race.
We're always the last priority, me and Gene. So like when you need to fix something, what do? You turn off the VRN feed. Thanks.
Turn off the broadcast.
Gosh.
That's fine.
But in all seriousness, Joe, great race today. A lot of fun to watch. First of all, correct me if I'm wrong, are you an admin in this series?
Yes.
So, have you seen the finalized points?
Yeah.
Do you anticipate any penalties coming through, or is that it?
I don't think there's going to be any penalties to my knowledge at
All
this
right.
moment in time.
So tell me what it was like on this cutoff race. You were on the pole. I don't think you had the race you were hoping for with how much raw speed you clearly had in that race car. But take me through it today, and I know you for sure had a lot of ups and downs, and cool to know what happened there, because, yeah, you were in first, then all of a sudden you were in 20th.
Yeah, that definitely made things a lot more interesting. But it did open up a strategy decision where I pitted on that first caution then for fuel. Unfortunately, then it happened again, like later in the race. There was a caution like on lap 25, and the same thing happened a second time. I'm like, all right, we gotta figure out why it's doing this. So I pretty much assumed that it had to be the VDO that was causing the problem.
Yeah.
So I shut that off.
That's fun.
And that fixed that problem. Then it was just about trying to make the strategy work the best way possible. And that last pit stop there, me, Novella, and Duval, and maybe David. I'm not sure if anybody else was able to take tires on that last caution, and we were able to steam through the field. And then Novella was like, "I'm going to take 2 tires," and his strategy worked. Taking 2 was the right call. I didn't think it would work. I didn't feel comfortable. I took 4 and finished 4.5 seconds back. So obviously taking 4 was not the right call. Taking 2 was the race winner to call. So good job on him. It got him into the next round of the playoffs by getting that win there.
Yes, sir, Matt Novella. I mean, how much does that guy deserve it? That guy has been through so much this season. A dominant driver not long ago at all, and just has not had the luck that I think you'd expect from him. But that did lead me to my next question for you. Yeah, the 2 tire thing, man. Did that cross your mind? Were you thinking that, or was it just a obvious, like, let's just take 4, keep it simple?
I was thinking about taking 2, but the way the car was driving, I figured, with 20 to go, it was. I was thinking about maybe staying out a couple extra laps and taking 2 at 15, but I didn't think taking 2 with 20 plus laps to go was gonna work. I have good history taking 2 tires and making it work, but I just felt like it was too many laps with this car at this track for it to work the way I would have hoped for, and I was wrong. Not the right strategy call. Probably, if I took 2, I don't know if I would have had a chance to win. I don't know where I would have finished. I don't know how much time it would have saved on pit road, but it would have been interesting to see if I could have done something with 2, but I'd look like some chaos at the front there at the end anyway, so who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, I'm the same way as you, man. Like, I like to keep it simple, and I said that during the broadcast. I was like, even if I felt like 2 was the move, if I haven't practiced that, I don't know if I have the guts to do it. So great job today, keeping it simple. You'll be moving on to the round of 8, as you should. And Joe Volpis, for those who don't know, currently the voice of Thursdays, and also coincidentally calls another guy named Joe Volpis in that same league, which is really bizarre. But an incredible broadcaster, commentator, and just as good of a racer. Always a pleasure, Joe Volpis. Hope to hear you this Thursday and have a race worth broadcasting. And always a pleasure to see you up front where you belong in this league. So congratulations on the finish. Congrats on moving on to the next round. Anyone you want to give a shout to?
Just a shout out to you guys, of course, and all the work that, you guys do on Mondays, and then plus everything that, me, Kevin, Kyle, Buddy, and Tony Iverson, and Jared with Sundays as well. All the and then Dalton involved with us now a lot more as well. Yeah, so shout out to everybody. If I forgot anybody else, I'm sorry. Shout out to everybody that makes everything run the way that it does, and able to put on these great broadcasts, of course.
Thank you, Joe, man, and congrats on moving on. Excited to watch you kill it in the round of 8.
Thank you.
I wondered where he went. That makes sense that he had a little technical software issue.
And you and I also, me and Gene, we're getting on top of this stuff because, we're like, oh, did he get loose? Did something go wrong? Nope, he just disappeared. Yeah. And that's what it takes for us to not know what happened.
You had to figure something out.
Exactly.
All right, let's bring in third place finisher here. Looks like we're gonna pull in the number 53 of Colin Bollinger. Hey, Colin, you got your ears on, bud.
Yes, sir.
Tell you what, man, you're going to advance. You knew you were going to do that because you won the first race in the round of round of 12. But now you won the points again. I know it resets, but it just has to make you feel good leading the points going into that next elimination round. How did today work out for you? How were you feeling out there?
I mean, like you said, I didn't have to really worry about it much, so I really didn't. I mean, we didn't qualify, whatever, same old story. But we got up there. I think we got up to maybe 7th or 8th, and then a couple cautions came out. And with that second caution, I think there was maybe 50 laps to go. It was a 5 or 6 laps out of the fuel window, and I said, we're already in. So I went down, topped it off, and we just sat back there and saved and just tried to see what happened. I mean, we pulled out a podium, so not bad.
No, you got to be happy. In fact, the whole Mo Power team, really good day as far as those three guys. No Daniel Smith today. That was unfortunate. Daniel would have needed a win, but on a track like this, would not be surprised if he could pull it out. But as always, exciting to watch you cut up through the field, making it go through there. And congratulations to your team. Also, 3 of your 4 guys all going to make it to that round of 12. Were you worried about Sean on points, though?
No, not really. He worries about himself. I don't worry about him. I'm worried about what I'm doing out there.
Well, you'd already won that race.
Yeah, if he doesn't make it, it sucks. But I'm not gonna change or alter my day to, he makes his own bed. I don't.
But wait, now hold on, Zach. I got to tell you the story here. I asked Colin to join a team that I was going to be a part of, so that he would come and help me alter races. You wouldn't do that for me, Colin.
Oh, well, that's different. That's not here. Come on, we can't. You can't be bringing that up. Those are behind closed doors discussions, man. What are you doing?
I mean, like, I want to bully Colin a bit harder. Isn't this guy like 22 years old? He doesn't know anything about making his own bed.
That's right.
No, the blankets are just over there. They're not even on the bed.
Exactly.
I love it. Colin, anybody you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
I don't know, just the same old guys, the Mo Power gang or delusional team, whatever you want to call them. Andrew Bolander, Sean Walton, Dan Smith. He wasn't here tonight, but just he makes all of our paints and all that stuff. So, just those guys. I wish he was here, but he must have been busy.
Yeah, real life always going to come first. If you don't take care of the house, then you can't take care of the fun. 53, Colin Bollinger. He once again leading the points at the elimination stroke. Can't wait to see as we go into the round of 8. Colin, good luck out there, man. Go have a beer. You earned it, brother.
Yep, thank you, guys.
I mean, Gene, he's 22. He knows nothing about taking care of houses.
Who knows? I know some pretty guys that are pretty good at that kind of thing.
I mean, to be fair, he's whipping my ass week in, week out, and I'm older than him. By a lot. We have to talk about how much.
Speaking of whipping ass, how about this next guy, huh? Last week he wins, and this week he's second. I'm going to go ahead and pull him in for you.
Jax the Ball. We got you, my man.
I'm here.
Another awesome show from the 84 Goldfish car. Man, I miss having you over full-time here. Someone who, like we've talked about a million times, and I hate to keep reminding you, but inches away from being our defending champion. What is going on with... I mean, Jax, you're always a fast driver, but damn. Going on lately so quick. Where is this coming from?
Oh, nothing to lose, so I'm just out there trying new things. I mean, that was a crazy race. Going 70 laps before we put our first set of tires on was a little nuts.
Yeah, that was a nuts one, and it seemed like almost nobody in terms of the drivers, including you, that truly had the speed to win the race was on the same strategy. So what was kind of your agenda today? Were you kind of taking it as it came to you, or did you have a plan going in?
This race, honestly, no plan. Knew it was 135 laps, 3 sets of tires. I wanted to sit at the end, so just gambled with it. I mean, like I said, nothing to lose. It's out there to steal spots, maybe piss a few playoff drivers off. Have fun.
I mean, whenever you need to piss a few playoff drivers off, just call the 84. It's like Ghostbusters, right? But it was messing with you, obviously, and I'm looking at the camera right now, Jacksonville. Lots of orange cars here, especially the Goldfish teammates. That was a good look today. Last question for you today. In terms of just how that race was kind of progressing throughout it, how important were tires? You're someone who I think has shown that you're one of the best in all of MRL at being able to drive the absolute crap out of a car on older tires and find the most out of it. You're not really anyone that's ever gonna get caught with their pants down on older tires with your ability to drive a car so hard. So with that said, how important was it today? Because we saw a few times where cars would stay out with a 20-lap delta and be able to, you know, kind of defend for maybe like 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, once you hit that 20 to 25 mark, that's when the tires are pretty much gone, and you got to save them. So very important at this track particular, because you need to be on that low line. Unlike Kansas, the high line's the best. High line's not good at all here. So you need those tires to stick to the bottom.
That makes sense. And I could put this place to Texas for some reason. I think it's just because you have the kind of flat out 1 and 2 and then the weird 3 and 4. And it also races a lot better on the sim than it does in real life. But yeah, actually, I've never thought about that. It really is similar to Kansas as well in terms of it's so tempting to drive it hard. But if you do, you're going to pay for it, like you said, within 20 laps. So it was amazing to watch you. Last question I'll ask you with beyond who you want to give a shout out to today is how many more times will we grace with your presence before this thing is over? Because we're enjoying the hell out of seeing that 84 car out in the field.
That's awesome. I want to try to finish up the season if everything goes well. So got a tough schedule coming up. I know we're at, actually no, Michigan's a good track, so
Yeah.
we should have a lot of fun next week. But no, shout out to Matt Novella. He deserved this win.
Hell yeah.
Smart move on him. He'll tell you what he did, but I took 4 at the end, and just couldn't catch him, especially with the traffic there. Trying to pass Bollinger, got, you know, we did a little bit of door banging, nothing intent there, just good racing hard. And when you have a car beside you, they kind of stick together. It pulls you to that car at this track. I've noticed you get real tight with a car beside you. But no. Shout out to Novella. He deserves this win. Glad to see him in the playoffs next round.
Totally agree with you, especially through 3 and 4. It's like there's a magnet on the outside car, and you feel like so bad because you're like, dude, I'm not trying to. Oh my gosh, I wish the car would stop doing this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, amazing drive, Jax, and like I said a million times, always such a joy to see you out in the field. Our runner-up last year and a driver that is a staple of this league. Pleasure seeing you, and congrats on another amazing finish.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. The broadcast, can't wait to go back and watch it. Thank you, Mean Gene. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Jax.
Well, another great run by that guy. He's just showing speed at the right time. Unfortunately, he, was the first guy not to make the playoffs. But as far as like a best of the rest or everybody else, he's got a 28-point lead over every other driver that didn't make the playoffs. So I think we're going to continue to see that points that gap grow with the stuff that he's doing right now.
Yeah, and I think also, Mean Gene, it was a participation issue this year in terms of Jax not pointing in to these playoffs or getting that win. I remember last year he won the first race of the season, and that was able to carry him into the playoffs, but then he made it count once he was there. But I think these 2 runs, Mean Gene, how much of a fire is that lighting under the rear end of that 84 driver of Jax Duvall? So eager to see what he can do next year or next season. An MRL regular, a staple of this league, someone who this league would not be where they are without him. So we know he'll be here, and I'm really looking forward to that. But Mean Gene, I'm going to nerd out a few times over this next interview. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sorry, because I'm so damn excited right now.
Oh. Uh-oh. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Is it really going to happen? Is it really going to happen? Let's see what we can do. I got to get it ready.
Matt Novella.
Yes.
You did it.
Yes.
You did
How you feeling, buddy?
Oh, fucking dude. Whew. Pardon my French. Pardon my French, but I'm on cloud 9 right now. Tonight has been an awesome night, dude. Let me tell you, man. I hit the walk-off single in softball tonight for my team. I come home and pull out the W on iRacing. What the?
Go ahead and give me some lottery numbers, my friend. Go ahead.
Straight
I'm
up,
ready.
I want those, yeah.
Give
56. That's what I'm going to tell you right now. That's
56, 5, 6, 65.
56.
Nice. That's what I like to hear. Congratulations, Matt. That, of course, is going to punch your ticket into the round of 8. And I got to ask, though, I mean, how much pressure were you feeling? I mean, if you think about it, you're 1 point down in 9th place when this thing starts. You go to Homestead, you stay in 9th, and you lose a point. You're 2 out. After Talladega, you're in 9th. You're 4 out. So you weren't doing bad, but you continued to see that gap grow. Were you fully aware of the stakes involved?
I was watching the ticker the whole time. I was aware where Medina was and Jack Standard was. I say who was getting stage points, who wasn't. And yeah, I was watching it the whole time, man.
Yeah, that just adds another element when you come into an elimination race and you know you are the guy. You're the person right there on that line. And we talked about it earlier, knocking on the door all season long, but you couldn't have picked a better time to do that. Is Kentucky a track you usually have circled? Is this somewhere that you expect to do well?
I mean, I like the 1.5 miles, so they've always been good to me. Kentucky's been pretty decent to me in the truck series. But yeah, honestly, I think it was just strategy that got me the win today. With 21 to go, I came in, took right sides only, and that's what led me to jump Duval there, and just set sail from there.
And I got to ask you though, Zach brought this up earlier as well. No one practices running a car after a 2-stop pit stop. Were you anticipating the car to handle different, and how much different was it with the 2?
Well, since we were off last week, I actually did some testing, and I ran a full fuel run and threw right sides and went back out and was still able to put down some decent lap times. You know, maybe 1,000th off, if that. So I was like, you know what? If I need it for the late in the race for strategy, and it ended up working out. It was great.
Wow, that is insane.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what Zach and I were talking about, how different it would come. Do you trust tires when you put the 2 on there, or does it just throw the car entirely out of balance? But and it handled the way that you expected. The track conditions were similar enough that
it handles
because you didn't lose a lot of time.
Yeah, it's been on here.
You didn't lose a lot of time at all.
No, it still handled pretty good. I mean, a little loose off of 4 here and there, but still drove in there good, and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. She stuck.
Yeah, who wasn't loose off of 3 and 4, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so that means next week you are 9 points behind Kevin Kyle for that number 4 spot. Is this something that you're thinking I can do this on points, or is it a win, a must win over the next 3 races? You got Michigan, you got Nashville, then you got Phoenix. Are you thinking I got to win to get in, or are you thinking you can point your way into this thing?
I mean, anything's possible. But we would obviously secure it. That would be great. But I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Which of those three, if you were going to circle one for the 50-16 and say this is the one where we're going to put our eggs in the basket?
I really like Michigan. Michigan's a good track for me. So it's a good track for a lot of other people too. But it's either that or
not Nashville. Not Nashville.
Nashville's okay. Owens is pretty quick there too. So
Bollinger as well.
Yeah. So maybe Phoenix. But there's 3 races, 4 spots. So
well, continue to do what you're doing. You're definitely on the right trajectory as far as what you need to do to continue to advance. It is, and it's got to feel good. You finally broke through this year, my friend. Season 4
first
has
MRL
a novella win.
Period.
No way.
First win. Period in the Cup Series.
Wow. How many Xfinity truck wins?
Because I knew you got truck.
I have no Xfinity wins, and I have 6 or 7 truck wins.
Wow. And a championship. Don't forget about that.
And a championship, yeah. So still need a Wednesday night win. Finally got this monkey off my back on Monday nights. Yeah.
Well,
ready to rock, dude.
you know what you need to do? You need to go on and make sure that you go to VRN and you subscribe. You get into the drawing, the contest, because one of those prizes. Well, see, and if you win, you could get Kevin Kyle to make you a trophy for today's accomplishment.
Yeah.
You get that.
You can
that damn trophy.
memorialize that forever.
Well, I guess I'll tell him now.
Anybody?
DDI driver is Matt Novella, so we pay for your first one on the team. We pay for 50% of your trophy, so go win that gift card, and that thing will be free for you.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Sweet, dude.
Congrats, Novella. Let's get that gorgeous car on a trophy.
Oh, you were quick, bud. Watching that at the end, watching those cars come out. Was there a moment where you thought, "Oh no, Buddy's going to make it," or did you know it was just inevitable?
When I took the white flag, I saw how far out in front he was. I was like, "There's no way I'm catching him."
Wow.
And then I saw the run I was having coming off of turn 2. I was like, "Oh, he's got to be out, or he's in like super safe mode." And then when I blew past him going into 3, I was like, "Yes, let's go."
Guys, I think mathematically, if Buddy doesn't run out, you catch him maybe on the exit of 4, and it's a photo finish. And if he has the gas, he can gas it up. But we were on board with him. I can't wait for you to see it. We were on board with Buddy when he ran out, and what a moment that was. And props to him for even saving the way he did. Oh my goodness, I don't know how he did that.
Yeah, at least he wasn't a nuisance like Owen was, though.
Nope, he is a asset.
Yeah. David was definitely riding it. His times were a little bit off of the rest of the field.
Ridiculous, though, if you ask me. But whatever.
Yeah, y'all can talk about that in Gulf Coast channel later.
Or into the Mayhem.
Anybody want to give a shout out? Anybody? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, anybody want to give a shout out to here tonight?
My wife and kid and DDI crew.
Yes, sir. We love you, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
cut clean right there. All right, well, Maddie, you got an open invite. We're going to do Inside the Mayhem here in about 20 minutes. So you got an open invite if you'd like to come join us on the show. You could take us through the.
I'd love to. I got to be up for work in the morning, so I got
work.
Yeah, nope. Dude.
Hey, we're trying to get monetized. No 4-letter words, bud.
Oh, sorry. I got to
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the JOB. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Novella, driver of the number 56 DDI car, taking it home today and punching his way into the round of 8. Congratulations, Matt. Go get you some sleep, bud. You earned it, my friend.
Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go, man.
Appreciate it. Let's go. Later.
Man,
and on the way out.
My heart.
Joe never should have put that button. No, Joe never should have gave me that button.
He's giving you too much power, for being honest.
I know. I've been waiting all year to play it. Wow. Tell you what, though, heck of a show today. A little bit of excitement, too, as we saw some incidents. Michael Mata involved in a couple of little whoopsie daisies. Sean Walton got in a couple of whoopsies, and then a real fun little contact between Thornton and Kevin Kyle at the end. We'll analyze all those things here in a few moments on Inside the Mayhem. That's right, over on the Vortex Racing Network. Go ahead and take this opportunity. Click on that QR code if you have not already done so. That'll bring you over to our channel. You can subscribe. That'll get you into our sweepstakes that is about to go down. We're only a few subscribers away from hitting that number 50 mark. And then we will go into an amazing contest with multiple prizes. And no sooner will we pull the trigger on that 50 subscriber sweepstake. We're going to have 100 subscriber sweepstake immediately following that. But Inside the Mayhem with myself, Megan Jean, and Zach Panzarella will be on in about 20 minutes. Final thoughts coming away from Kentucky, Zach?
Spoiled, Mean Gene. We are so damn spoiled. What a race. I mean, I talked about it with you privately all week. I was just so excited to get back in the booth with you, get back in my happy place, which is Monday nights in the broadcasting booth covering this unbelievable league. Novella kind of alluded to it. Hasn't been the greatest week elsewhere in MRL, but man, if you ever need a reminder of what makes this league so special and why this is truly one of the greatest leagues, if not the greatest, in all of sim racing in terms of competitiveness, driver class, and just edge of your seat cinema, you really can't go further than this Monday Night League. And I am reminded every damn week, me and Gene, how lucky I am to be here covering this league with you, in the booth with you. And man, like I said, I was just so eager this race especially. Hope you guys enjoyed the solo experience last week with me, covering a lot of fun drivers in a exhibition race. A lot of VRL regulars like Jerry Rose, Ricky Mandela, and other guys that we don't get to see over here on Mondays often. But I missed you, me and Gene. I missed our regular crop of drivers, and I missed the intensity of the playoff situations that we get to cover. And it delivered today. And I just, again, we're spoiled. I'm so lucky, and I cannot thank these drivers enough.
I'll tell you what, you talked about, what we were offering. Also, what about the VRN Twitch driver cam? So what
Yeah,
can you talk about that a little bit?
We got to talk about that a lot of bit. Oh, don't we? So it's I believe it's twitch.com/Vortex Racing Network. That channel currently run by one of our channel directors, Kevin Kyle, also the admin of Sunday night, or I'm sorry, Sunday. I always say night, me and Gene. It is not night. Sunday morning BRL. But yeah, today I think featured 4 at least driver cams. I think it was the 11, iRacing, Vulpes, and not sure our 4th was, Gene. But we definitely had some awesome driver cams. We have to start showing you guys all 4 of those at once. We've been kind of, to be transparent with y'all, careful about our computers. I'm sure you heard me and Gene dealing with stuff as is, so want to be careful about, bringing in 4 cameras at once. That's why we're kind of picking and choosing. Today we brought you guys Vulpes and Iverson until Vulpes decided he was too good for us. But I'm excited to bring more of those over, but at the very least, what I would be doing if you are a fan of this league, which I know there's so many of you guys out there, and that means the world to us. The view counts so awesome week in, week out. But if you want to bring a little more depth to your experience here, subscribe to VRN. Pull up our broadcast on the MRL Broadcasting Network for these next 3 races, but also have on your phone, your other device, because we all have a couple, pull up on VRN the driver cams. You can see real time what these guys are going through, what it looks like behind the wheel of, I think it's more than not 4 of our top elite drivers. I'll go ahead and say, I think it's going to be 4 drivers that will be composing Round of 8 guys. I think they'll all be Round of 8 guys next week. So definitely another reason to subscribe to VRN is to get to see that unique perspective. And also, we talked a lot about steering wheel input from someone like Iverson. See that firsthand. See what that looks like from his perspective. That is valuable information that can only make you better.
Yeah, just adding another element of what we're trying to offer you guys as we are eventually going to make that switch over to the Vortex Racing Network, YouTube, possible opportunities, Twitch being shown as well. Just more and more social media going on, and we'll see that as we hit that off season and get moving forward up and gear up for season number 5 for the MRL Monday Night Series. Trucks, we'll be showing the trucks on Thursday, and also the Sunday Bonfire Race League. And I think they're on, season 14, 15?
It's something like that, Gene. Dalton was the little stat expert when it came to that, and the numbers blew my mind. That league is the definition of legitimacy and what every league should strive to be in terms of how else can you exist for that long unless you have something great going.
Oh, yeah. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna get an all-star race so we can get
hell yeah,
the all-stars of the bonfire. Get Medina to showdown with Sean Walton. Can't wait to see that race.
Yeah, maybe we can bring on some MRL champions. Who knows?
That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, that is going to wrap us up. My final thoughts as we leave Kentucky are just great show, great racing, a little bit of contact, no malicious intent, but just hard rubbing. And as they say, rubbing is racing. Going to open us up next week. The final 8 has been solidified, and we're going to see which of these boys is going to flex his muscles first. It's winning you're in. And next week in Michigan, we'll see who the first guy will be to punch his ticket to that championship round. And we wrap it all up at Vegas. What happens in Vegas is broadcast on MRL. I'm Mean Gene Money on behalf of myself, Zach Panzarella, our sponsor, Chantillylace, DDI, KK Woodworks, all the boys back in the production truck, the admin, Steve Fugay, John Beverly, Joe Vulpes, David Owens, Zach Panzarella. It has been my pleasure. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you here in about 20 minutes for Inside the Mayhem on the Vortex Racing Network. And as always, folks, bottoms up and hammer down.